It's Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, but what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your days. And how you relate to your loved and lovable nature is going to determine everything that unfolds in your path for the next 25 years. The next 25 years, yes, the next 25 years, how you relate and meditate on your loved and lovable nature. I am loved and lovable. I've always been loved and lovable. I'm always going to be loved and lovable. And what does that mean about me and my great I am? That's going to change everything about you. And this week in Love in Action Network, our peer support community for global change, encouraging, inquiring, and equipping people. Encouraging, equipping, and empowering. Sometimes there's inquiry, but we encourage, equip, and empower here. This week, we're talking about creativity that comes after your survival process. Creativity that happens after survival. I know that so many of you watching on TikTok and also on Facebook and YouTube, and those who will listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and iHeartRadio and Stitcher, I know that some of us have been in survival mode for so long, it has created a groove in us where it's like, all I've been doing for the last 20 years, Dr. Flo, is surviving and trying to pay these bills. I get it. Today, we're opening a channel, though, within ourselves to talk about creativity that comes after survival, to move from survival mode into building mode. That is your testimony. That is who you are becoming. That's who I'm becoming. And we're going to help you along the path in Love in Action Network. I'm joined today by Randy Gallo of Any Girl Ministries and Movement. I also have Kwane of KM Essentials Magic Care and Tara Praolo of Tara Praolo Studio, home of the Tara Praolo Method, hanging out behind the scenes over on TikTok. These are amazing women who are giving back good seeds into the soil that is the community. And I encourage you to follow them on all platforms and check out what they're doing, because each one of us here have a movement of change, and we are moving out of survival into that building and that creative process. And it feels good and it looks good and it's so juicy. Know today, as we anchor in the root chakra, the mantra is I am. So start dropping over in the comments over here what you are. I am, because whatever you put after I am is what becomes true in your life. I am tired, then you're tired. I am happy, then you're healthy. Happy. I'm healthy, then you're healthy. I am. Whatever you put after your I am, it's called the I am principle. Even in biblical texts, which Randy runs a faith-based ministry for the most part, even the great creator said, I am that I am. Even the great creator said, I am, or let there be. Randy says, I'm ready to be wealthy, happy, and whole. You are wealthy, happy, and whole. I am wealthy, happy, and whole. I am. Whatever you declare, the universe has to respond to. Whatever you say after I am, it starts running across the universe towards you. You're going to do the work. You're going to ask, believe, put your love in action, and receive. But it's coming to you. The question is, are you going to allow the creativity after your survival? Randy's saying, sprint to me. Sprint to me, baby. Lay it on me. Good measure. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. More than enough. more than enough. And we teach in Love and Action Network, the one of the many definitions of abundance is having everything you need when you need it. And I'm grateful today. I am grateful today to have everything that I need as I need it. That's what we define abundance as. Abundance equals having everything you need as you need it. This breath, this green tea, this conversation is a symbol of my abundance, not my lack. It is a symbol of the goodness and mercy that is following me and sprinting towards me every day of my life. Here's what we're learning this week in our root chakra. Survival created awareness. Survival made you very aware of how much money was in the bank account, how much money was in the cash app, how much food was in the bowl, how much coffee's in the cup, like the amount of laundry detergent. Survival created awareness. Stability creates capacity. Carving out a space in your heart and in your life and in your relationships where you're like, yo, I'm done fighting with you motherfuckers. Dr. Flo is rated E, by the way. Don't bring your kids in here. I don't got no kids. Dr. Flo is rated E. Dr. Flo is rated E. Sometimes the E is for everyone. Sometimes the E is for explicit truth. Your survival created awareness, stability, and getting negative people away from you and out of your life. That creates the capacity for you to grow. Some of you are not growing because you're not willing to let go of the people who are trying to intentionally destabilize you. We let go of everything that does not serve us. If they don't make you feel good, if they're not saying positive things about your dreams, get them out of here. Because stability creates capacity. Stability, especially emotional stability, enlarges your territory. An affirmation to use today is, I am safe enough to create again. I am safe enough to create again. I am safe enough to create again. This reminds me of the work that Randy Gallo is doing over in Any Girl, a women's empowerment ministry for everybody who self-reflects that divine femininity. She's working with women who are trying to reinvent themselves, who are trying to reimagine their new lives after life has been cold and harsh and bitter. What you gonna do next, girl? I don't come to the meetings, but I'm an honorary femme member, one of the gays and theys, with my broken wrist. I don't come to the meetings. That's for the women folk. But she's creating a space where people are affirming, I am safe enough to create again. I'm safe enough to start over. I'm safe enough to become a new version of me. I am a new woman. Hear me roar in spirit and in truth. Here's something to reflect upon today. Where am I still operating from survival instead of stability? Where am I still operating from survival instead of stability? And what would grounded creativity look like in that area? Where am I still operating from survival instead of stability? And what would grounded creativity look like in that area? Essentially to say, if I'm going to create my life, what would it look like to create it from a grounded, rooted place? A lot of us have been just kind of, my spiritual language that's coming up for me is pissing in the wind. That's my spiritual language. You should hear my other language. My spiritual language is saying that a lot of us have been pissing in the wind, blowing back on us, blowing into stuff, creating a very stinky situation. That's my spiritual language, Randy, by the way. You should hear my other language. What would it look like for you to actually aim into the bowl? Talking about a women's ministry, I have heard about you squatters, you squatting women who don't want to sit on the toilet seat, and how you miss. Can we talk about it? How women bathrooms are notoriously tore up because y'all are squatting on your dreams as opposed to sitting down and aiming. They don't invite me to the meetings. My pussy is imaginary. And I use it all the time. Where am I still operating from survival instead of stability? And what would grounded creativity look like in that area? Our love and action item today is to identify. Don't invite me to your women's church ministry. I may act out. Our love and action item today is to identify one environment, habit, or relationship that disrupts your sense of safety and take one concrete step to stabilize it today. Identify just one environment, habit, or relationship that disrupts your sense of safety. I'm still laughing, Kwame, about the squatting on the dreams. I'm still laughing about the squat. Some of us have been squatting. Are your knees not tired yet? Stop squatting on your dreams. Piss in the bowl. Piss in the bowl. Identify one environment, habit, or relationship that disrupts your sense of safety and take one concrete step to stabilize it today. Piss in the bowl. I know that the reason why there's mess all over the bathroom floor is because y'all are squatting. The least you could do is put down a little paper. You know the old trick? 4 little strips. Put a paper here, paper on top, paper below. Then sit down to improve your aim for your dreams. It's a metaphor. Don't send me no crazy mail about the way I preach and teach. Stop pissing in the wind. Aim. Identify one environment, habit, or relationship that disrupts your sense of safety and take one concrete step to stabilize it today. Let's do some affirmations now for creativity after survival. Dr. Flo sometimes is rated E for everyone, and sometimes he's just an explicit truth teller, because some people don't need all of the universe is just taking care of me and taking care of you. Some of us need you need to aim. You need to aim. Stop being so willy-nilly with your dreams. Stop being so all over the place with your focus. You need to aim. Loved and lovable. And so here are our affirmations for creativity after survival. I am safe to create again. I am safe to create again. My foundation is strong. My foundation is strong. I honor how far I have come. I honor how far I have come. Survival has strengthened me. Survival has strengthened me. I release fear from my body. I release fear from my body. I trust stability is available to me. I trust stability is available to me. I create from grounded truth. I create from grounded truth. I am supported in my journey. I am supported in my journey. My body is a safe home for my expression. My body is a safe home for my expression. Some of you may want to just ball up your fist, not too tight, just a loose fist. A loose fist. Just like a gentle power stance. My body is a safe home for my expression. That's what we teach as a psychosomatic. Somatic for feeling, psycho for you psycho motherfuckers in the room. Psychosomatic. It's you triggering your body through mudras and hand motions and body positionings. And some of you are EFT people. Triggering your body temple into being a safe home for your expression. Power pose. My body is a safe home for my expression. I'm protected in my expression. Who gonna check me, boo? Anybody know Sheba Sheree from the Atlanta Housewives? Who gonna check me, boo? In my expression. My body is a safe home for my expression. Shout out to Sheree. Another psycho. With money. Contracts. Television contracts. I deserve peace and creativity. I deserve peace and creativity. I choose calm over chaos. I choose calm over chaos. I rebuild with intention. I rebuild with intention. I try not to pause too much between the meditations because people listen back to these meditations on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts, and I try not to break up there because they'll be sitting there and they'll be like, meditate. And all of a sudden, this gay starts chirping away. But I have to pause here today and say, I build with intention. I rebuild with intentions is powerful. Some of us know that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. We've all been there, where you're doing this. It's the same kind of dude, the same kind of thinking that got you to where you are, and you think that thinking the same way is going to get you into your freedom. I want to invite you today to really take affirmation 12 seriously. I rebuild with intention. This time, as you start over and reinvent your life, Any Girl, Essentials Magic Care, Love and Action Network, TPS, whatever that is, inside joke, whatever you're rebuilding, be intentional this time. Be intentional this time. Like, actually just sit with yourself for about 10 minutes and ask your ancestors and your spirit guides to, as I've been teaching Randy, show me clearly. Clearly show me. I will wait on thee or on me. Show me clearly, clearly show me. I will wait on thee or me. But rebuild with intention, because rebuilding the same thing again, partially because a lot of us are stubborn. I'm very stubborn. Ask my husband and my work wife, Tara. Ask my real husband and my work wife if I'm stubborn. I am so stubborn. I will rebuild the network and rebuild things over and over again, expecting something different. They're like, you've been trying the same shit for 5 years. It hasn't worked, Dr. Flo, but no, I'm going to rebuild it. This time is my time. This time. And some of the things that we return to do actually work because we weren't really asking, believing, and receiving. But why don't we rebuild our lives this time with intention? I had to stop and talk about that today. Oh, birds of a feather flock together. For those of you who can't see, or you may be listening on the podcast later, Tara Praolo's studio on all platforms is saying, your stubbornness is only matched by Poppy and I. Yes, birds of a feather flock together. Also, you got to remember the teaching of Pastor Schuyler, who comes through here sometimes. Pastor Schuyler taught me in a Dr. Black Artist program that stubbornness and tenacity. Are you stubborn or are you tenacious in your dream? What does Dr. Flo talk about when he says tenacious? That's where the spelling be. Tenacious. Tending to keep a firm hold of something. Clinging closely. Are you stubborn or are you clinging to your dream? Are you clinging to your dream or are you stubborn? They look the same, but one feels really, really crazy and one feels really, really good. And I can't tell you what that sensation's like. You know it for yourself. You know for yourself, Tara, Flo, Randy, Kwane, humankind. You know whether you're being tenacious or stubborn. I rebuild with intention this time. Everything's starting to cook at Love in Action Network, and there are people out on the internet right now saying, where's the program, Dr. Flo? How much is it? I'll pay whatever it is. I'll pay whatever it is. I'm like, I've been wanting these people to pay me for my services and my spiritual leadership and my programs for 500 years. Why now? Why now? Because I'm finally building with intention. It's not, well, it is what it is, and however it turns out, and like, Tara, we'll just see. We'll just try this and just see. No, don't leave your dreams to chance. Don't roll the dice on your great I am. Woo! Ah! 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 Stop rolling the dice on your great I am. You are called for something greater than this. Stop rolling the dice on your great calling and your great I am. Stop leaving your dreams to chance. This is an invitation to rebuild with intention this time. Do it different this time. Flo? Do it different this time. Slow stroke it with emotion. Slow stroke it with emotion. Woo! My God, on today, I rebuild with intention. Oh. I felt that one. My roots are deep and resilient. My roots are deep and resilient. I trust the process of renewal. I trust the process of renewal. I am allowed to begin again. I am allowed to begin again. I know y'all are trying to get to affirmation 20 with me, and I know that you've been with me for at least the last 25 minutes. Deal with it. I'm not people pleasing anymore. Kwane is my non-people pleasing prayer partner. She don't know it yet. She is my non-people pleasing prayer partner in love. If it's too long for you, pause it. It'll be on 5 platforms by the end of the day. You can always catch it later. No love lost. When people in your life, typically the ones who work with you or are close to you or in your family, when they come to you, inevitably, it's not a question of if, bitch, it is when. When they come to you and start reminding you of your past and reminding you of what didn't work or reminding you about who's doing what you're doing and they're doing it better. Well, you know you tried that once before, Flo. Kwane, you know that this kind of sounds like the dream you had 20 years ago. Listen here. Look them right in their face. Listen here, you raggedy bitch. I am allowed to begin again. So many people will not see their dreams come true, and many dreams will go into the graveyard because they're afraid to stand up to their loved ones and say, you know what, I know how you feel about me, and I know that you knew me back when I was doing these drugs, and I know you know me back when I was sleeping around, and I know you know me when I dropped out of college, and I know you knew me when I was going to church 3 times a week. I knew you knew me then. You knew me then. I am allowed to begin again. And my permission doesn't come from you. You don't have a heaven or hell to put me in. I am allowed to begin again. That's your script this week. And some of you this week, you're going to be challenged in your business, in your personal relationships. You're going to be challenged inside of yourself. When the enemy of your mind or the inner me in people starts challenging your dreams and what you want to do, say to yourself and out loud, I am allowed to begin again. I am allowed to begin again and again and again. And guess what? You can't stop me from beginning again and again and again. Don't you got something to begin again? While you over here in my business, what are you beginning again? You gotta be sassy about your dreams because they're gonna try you. I can't stand. I have a lot of pet peeves because I'm very particular. I can't stand a motherfucker that ain't got no big dreams of their own trying to tell me what to do with mine. You ain't tired yet. You ain't busy yet. You ain't occupied. But Kwane, the real ones know. Everybody's got an opinion about what you're doing with your big dream ain't maintaining their own. This is why I don't have a lot of people sitting close to me on the pulpit, Kwane, because we're going to wake it up this year. This is the year of Jubilee. This is the year of freedom. You got so much to say about my dream. What is you doing? What have you accomplished? You'll find that the people who have the most opinions about what you're doing, ask them what they're proud of in their lives and watch them scramble like eggs. You got so much to say about what I'm doing with Love and Action Network and how many live streams I'm doing and my affirmations, and you got so many for me. What are you proud of? What's on your, as Tara would teach it, what's on your brag book of accomplishments of your dreams? I'll wait. Complaining about what's not working out for you or not working towards your dream. Failure is so easy that everybody's doing it. Some of us are using our failures to fail up and to fail forward and to learn from our failures and to rebuild with intention. But if you're just failing, girl, like, Millions of people are doing that shit. That ain't special. Failure ain't special. We see that every fucking day. Failing. The line is over there. If you are a failure, go way down there. Further. See that pot of complaining people? Stand there. That's where all the failures are. Over here, we're learning from our failures. We're daring to fail. We're risking failure. We're risking your disappointment. We're risking your disapproval. We're risking your disengagement. We're risking your disenchantment. We're risking your disfellowship to begin again. Ooh, these vitamins are good. Poppy Water told me to stop talking about them online because they haven't sponsored me yet. I'll tell you about the awesome vitamins I take when they cut me a dead president check. But they're good, Kwane. It's that niacin. I'm feeling that rush. But I only took 2 today because some of y'all were around on 2 days ago when I took 4 as prescribed, and I was whistling Dixie and twirling in the kitchen like a damn dervish man. You are allowed to begin again. I am allowed to begin again. Last few. Stability fuels my creativity. Stability fuels my creativity. I am no longer in survival mode. I'm no longer in survival mode. And I know that this may be one that you'll have to lie to yourself about or deceive yourself about. Listen, we lie, in the words of the great prophet Lauryn Hill, we lie to God every day and we lie to ourselves every day. Just add this extra lie to the list. We pretend, Kwane, like we are a society of people who take care of the homeless and give health care to everybody. We lie like a rug, as my mother would say, every day. Lie about this too. I'm no longer in survival mode. Let's lie. Everybody lies. Let's lie about this too. I'm no longer in survival mode. I am no longer in survival mode. And the truth is that I'm not. It's not a lie. I'm not. I discovered this year through prayer and contemplation and building in Love and Action Network that the opposite of survival is creation. And that if I could start creating more programs like this and like People Pleasers Anonymous and Adopt a Black Artist and the Artist Action Collective, if I could start building programs, that takes me out of survival because I know that the seeds I'm planting will eventually grow. So I don't need to worry about survival. I'm just trusting that the seeds I planted are going to come up. I'm looking for the seed packets. I think they're in the other room. There's a seed library at the local library, and they give away seeds. And we got some seeds. Like if I put those seeds in the ground and I water them and I put them in the sun, they're gonna grow. I don't need to be in survival mode when I got all of these seeds. Some of you are stuck in survival mode because you don't feel the power of your seeds. Tara said it last night privately. She said, Dr. Flo, the reason why they're avoiding you is not because they're bad people. I'm paraphrasing Tara. She can speak on her own platforms about what she actually said. That'll be in the Dr. Flo expose when they tell you what really happened, because I'm very dramatic and very hyperbolic. She can speak for herself. She's a strong woman, let me tell you. Powerful bitch. But she said, Dr. Flo, the reason why they're avoiding you is because they don't feel like they have anything to offer. And that makes me sad because we all have something to offer. knowing your needs and your seeds, which we talk about daily in Love in Action Network. Knowing your needs and your seeds will pull you out of survival mode, beloveds. Knowing that you got something to offer to the planet, and sure, 400,000 other people may be offering it, but they cannot offer it like you. You ain't never had a friend like Dr. Flo, and you never will. I'm one of one, baby. And that keeps me out of survival mode, knowing that I've got so much to offer to the world and so much to create after the survival. Last three, I breathe into safety. I breathe into safety. Just utter that to yourself. I breathe into safety. I belong in spaces of growth. It's not on the page here like Love in Action Network or others. We're not the only rodeo. We got some pretty good cattle here. I belong in spaces of growth. I belong in spaces of growth. And if you want to go even deeper than that, Tara is my only paying participant in a mastermind that I run called Unfuckwithable with Flo. She has been with me for over a year, probably more than that, in this mastermind. We get together once a week strategically on a call to just really go deeper, mile deep, inch wide into our dreams. And this affirmation makes me think of Tara today, because she, when she's in her bag, she preaches powerfully about this thing called belonging. So I belong in spaces of growth is the affirmation today. But what if you just said to yourself today, I belong? I belong. Tara and I talk, and we talked on the podcast, the other podcast, Deconstruction Junction, about the fact that the crisis in our society is not a lack of food and a lack of time, talent, and treasure, and a lack of people who are willing to we have a crisis that's bigger than Miss Rona crisis. We have because I can't talk about it on TikTok, y'all. TikTok is here today in the background. The bigger epidemic than Miss Rona is a crisis of belonging. People would rather put on a red hat and hate you than feel like they don't belong to an in-group. Many of those people wearing the red hats, trying to make things great again, they're not there because they truly hate people or want to feel that way. This group was the first group in their lives, and Trump was one of the first celebrities they saw on TV that made them feel like they belong. Can we talk about it? And let me tell you something, light workers can't stand me sometimes because I'm on their necks. The reason why MAGA got to be so big is because us light workers did not get to them first. Humans are not that complex. If we had gotten to them first, Kwane, and said, here, take this loved and lovable hat, they may not even be wearing the red hat. But they're following this man off the cliff because he makes them feel like they belong. Join us on Wednesdays to talk about it on the podcast. The crisis of belonging. And check out Tara Paolo's studio and her programming as she builds spaces of belonging for people who have been neglected in the arts like her, or not been able to freely express themselves in classical music. Imagine being in opera or classical music spaces and not feeling like you belong. She's been alive for 80 years. That's an inside joke. She's been alive for 82 years, and she just now this year did a world premiere of an opera that featured Black themes and Black people. She's been alive for 82 years. She's in her 30s, y'all. But she acts like she's been alive for 82 years. And after 82 years of life, even though she's in her 30s, this is the first time that she did a world premiere where the writer was Black, the music writer was Black, the cast was Black. The first time of belonging. I lost one person on TikTok because I started talking about black shit. We belong. People assigned black at birth belong. And we especially belong in spaces of growth. Stop asking yourself what makes this dude so special that he can get out on TikTok and all these platforms and be big, and start asking yourself, what can I do to belong in spaces of growth? Last one, 40-minute pod. I'm secure enough to create. I am secure enough to create. Take a breath. And for those of you who like meditations where I'm not preaching throughout and going off and snotting and shit, we have a meditation series where I don't interrupt that flow. But this was not that today. This was not that today. If you are interested in coming into a community of growth, if you need a bit more of encouragement and equipment and empowerment along your journey daily, we show up here. You're more than welcome to like if you like it, share it if you are a sharer, and subscribe if you'd like to see us again through our website, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link, lovedandlovable.bio.link. There's greatness in you, and you will find great creativity after your survival if and when you tap into your loved and lovable nature. And if you would like to have a conversation with me privately about what is he talking about, my loved and lovable nature. If you would like to go deeper in a private discussion or a group discussion with us about what it means to tap into your loved and lovable nature, you can DM me on any platform. My message requests are turned on. I've got a bunch of people waiting in there to talk to me this weekend. But just get in line to talk about how loved and lovable you are and how that's going to make you unfuckwithable and unstoppable as it relates to your dreams. You are worthy of it, and you certainly are enough. So on behalf of our leadership team here in the network, Terra Praolo Studio, who I've shoshed with today, Poppy Water 33, my manager and partner and lover boy, and myself, Ask Dr. Flo on all platforms. We invite you as always to come into a community of belonging and to stay in your power, stay in your joy, and stay loved and lovable until